Hey, what's going on, guys? Indy here with Ultimate Tool Reviews, and here is all the tools that I have broken, damaged from Harbor Freight this year, wherever you want to call it. These tools are no longer 100% anymore, and the manager at my local Harbor Freight, he's really cool. I talk to him all the time. Whenever I stop in, and he's like, "Hey, we got nothing into these tools pretty much." He's like, "We're told to just warranty them out, no problem." And so these are kind of the tools that I have broken, over the years here. Well, actually, pretty much just this year. This is just the tools I've broken this year from Harbor Freight. And let's go through some of these. I'll kind of show you what happened on some of these tools and what's going on here. So this little pliers here, I'm not sure if this little piece fell out or broke off or something here, but I always love these little pliers. They're really nice because they also have a little cutters on them too, but this thing's just getting a little old. I think I've had this thing for like 3 or 4 years now, and that little piece broke off there, so it doesn't really open by itself all the way anymore. It's supposed to open about there, and it does not do that anymore. So I'll be taking this thing in for warranty, and these things are dirt cheap too. I think it's like $1 a piece, something super cheap, but lifetime warranty on the Pittsburgh stuff. All right, this was a fun one. This one snapped off pretty hard in my hand here. I was trying to cut a wire with this thing, and yeah, I just ended up snapping the metal on that thing right off. And yeah, that was pretty scary holding that in my hand, just like bam, just kind of snapped off right there. And I mean, the teeth on this thing are actually pretty good yet, which is nice. It was just the handle that busted off. That's what you get from that cheaper steel on there. Again, these things are dirt cheap, so not surprising there, and that's why they have a lifetime warranty, of course. This one, you can probably expect what happened, or assume what happened here. These needle noses, they do break these little needle noses off here. I was getting to a hose clamp in here, and I was kind of in a spot working on my truck where I couldn't really see the hose clamp. So I thought I was holding on to it, and I was really putting a grip on there. And I was actually on the hose clamp and like another metal piece in there. So when I was really compressing it down, I thought I was holding the hose clamp, and I wasn't. And this thing just snapped right off in there. And I'm like, I hope that's not the hose clamp. Luckily, it wasn't, and it was just the needle nose pliers that snapped. But I'm getting a little rust on here. This thing's been in my toolbox for a little bit here, so this thing's getting a little rusty now too. But this thing has been one of my tried and true the needle nose pliers here. It's worked out pretty good. I will say one thing, I pretty much warranty one or two of these a year, and rubber mallets. Whenever I get a nice chunk taken out of one like that, I bring them back to Harbor Freight. They give me a new one. On this side's, this side's getting a bit crumbly here on this side too. So it's going to be time for a new one. These little 1 pound rubber mallets are awesome. Lifetime warranty these things. I think I've warranted these out now 4 or 5 times, and I love these things so much. I actually just bought a second one just to have two on hand. So when one kind of gets a little bit messed up, the rubber gets all messed up on these things, I can take one back for warranty, and I've still got a second one ready to go. So yeah, these things are pretty common for lifetime warranty, but it's nice being able to buy one, lifetime warranty it out as much as you need. It's not a big deal, and Harbor Freight does not mind at all. Here's a bit of a surprise one. I just bought this, man, a couple weeks ago, if that. The Icon pick set. I was going to doing a review on this, but I was curious if it would break or not when I did a little job of my first gen Tacoma here, and I broke 2 out of 4 of these actually pretty quick. I was taking off some hoses that were very, very dry rotted. I was taking off the idle air control valve off this thing, and there was a lot of hoses underneath there that were super badly dry rotted. It took me almost 2 hours to get it out, which it should be like a 10-minute job, but the hoses were just in horrible condition. And I snapped right there. I snapped that thing off, and this should not be bent like that either. This one's pretty bent up here, pulling that hose off there. And I couldn't get any other tool there to pull those hoses off. Again, I snapped the tip of the needle off on this one too. So those are the two that I damaged. But I've put quite a lot of work in these. And what's funny is this one I actually used the most. I snapped both those off pretty quick. And I went and grabbed this one. And you can see the tip is bent on that one a little bit. But this one kept going. I wouldn't actually finish the job using this one and had no more issue with this thing. This one, the little tip on this thing stayed on, no problem. So that is great. And then I used this one like once to get one hose clamp off. And again, this one's totally fine. I'm going to bring all 4 back. They might, I'm not sure with Icon, I think they might say you got to bring them all back and they'll just give you a new set. I'm not sure, but I'll find out on that. I will say I love the Icon tools. This is the first Icon tool set that I've ever had any issues with so far. These things are $20 though, so it's a fantastic deal on a little pick set here. And what I say I recommend these, I mean, I guess, I am warranting out very quickly here, which is not, a good thing, but I do like these so far. They have a nice grip to them. They seem to be holding up okay. I mean, it was pushing a lot on these things, getting these little hoses off here. And of course, I had to pull some, little bit of, a couple of seals off as well, too. So they came in handy, definitely worth the 20 bucks, but yeah, I'll be using the lifetime warranty on these pretty quick here. For warning, over the years, I've done a few other warranties. I haven't done really this much mechanical work in 1 year. I live on a farm now, so I'm doing a lot more mechanical stuff. But one thing I have warranted in the past, which is no surprise, these kind of plastic ratchets, which these are really nice. I had one actually go bad. The little selector switch just stopped selecting forward or reverse, and they gave me a new one, of course, no problem. So here's the new one. I've only used it a handful of times. I have a few other ratchets I like using a little bit more than this one now, but that's been warranted out in the past. And then I don't even have these anymore, but I would say the worst tool I've ever used at Harbor Freight is this one. These little hex key things, they're so cheaply made. I have busted these things. I think I busted them like 3, 4, or 5 times, and I warranted them every time. And I'm just like, they were happy to do it. They're like, yeah, no problem. You broke it, bring it back, no problem. We don't care. And I'm just like, I think after the 4th or 5th time, I just toss it. I'm like, forget it. I'm gonna go buy some just hex keys instead and just call it at that. So I bought the Husky hex key set for the sockets, and they've been absolutely great since then. I got rid of the little Pittsburgh socket, the little Pittsburgh hex kit sets there instead. Got rid of those and went to just the Husky set instead. So that's the one thing I think has been the worst item I've ever used at Harbor Freight that I just tossed out. Never would bother with it again. But honestly, that's not bad for Harbor Freight here. Just a couple of things broke here. Only broke one Icon tool set here so far, and I use the Icon stuff all the time. I love their sockets. I've got a number of Icon tools I've been using a lot of, and they've been just phenomenal tools. Really happy with them. They have a really nice professional feel to them. I would say professional quality, definitely. And of course, lifetime warranty on them, and it's no big deal to get these things replaced. So guys, hope that helps. If you're looking for anything from Harbor Freight, I've always had a great experience there. Just the cheap tools break here and there, but things like rubber mallets, lifetime warranty on these. You buy once, you don't even cry once. If you got to replace these things, it's no big deal. This will be my probably 5th one now, trading in for a new one, and it's never been a big deal at all. You just grab a new one off the shelf when you go to check out, put these in your basket too, and say, hey, I need to warranty this, and this. And they're like, no problem at all. So it's never been a big deal. It's always been easy to do at Harbor Freight. And if you're expecting some big video, 45 tools I broke in Harbor Freight, no, honestly, they've been doing a really good job with their tools. And I've really never had any major issues so far. I'd say the Icon set is probably the biggest issue here. I wasn't sure if I was pushing these tools too hard or not, but I got the job done using this set anyways. So I'm definitely going to give props to Icon for that. But guys, thanks for watching. Take care. Have a great day and stay safe out there.